Alrighty, y'all, strap in for some amazingly dumb things that Americans have said. These are stories from my channel, from you guys, from the comments. And hey, for all those softies out there that are always like, oh, this guy must hate America and stuff, you might want to click off now because this is just highlighting dumb people. This is a lighthearted video. It's funny. I love America. I'm from here. Everywhere has dumb people, not just America. It's just highlighting some funny comments, okay? Let's go. First up, I'm Irish and have visited the U.S. a few times. One time, me and a couple friends were at a store in New York City and we're chatting. This older woman, I'm talking like 50s, came up to us and asked where we were from. So I said, Galway, Ireland. I'll never forget the next thing she said to me. Wow, your English is really good. To which I replied, thanks, yours too, and smiled. Nice. Of course, it is because she's from America. So I said something like, hey, and I'm from Ireland where we've spoken English for longer than your country's existed. And she carried on shopping. I mean, you're not wrong. That is always super funny. I don't, thank goodness, honestly, for living here so long and interacting with millions of people here in America, in the United States. I mean, you meet tons of different people and, everyone's unique and there are some smarter people and not so smart people. But I tell you what, I have never, thankfully, at least in the wild, seen someone that thinks the United States invented English and that we're the only people that speak it. But yes, it's pretty hysterical that she told someone from Ireland, wow, you speak good English. Yeah, next up, I remember standing in line with my wife to see a local tourist attraction. An American gentleman in front of us was asking for 2 tickets for him and his wife for entry to the Coliseum. Ooh, great. He got quite argumentative when told by the attendant that she couldn't sell him any tickets to the Coliseum. He became quite defensive, thinking it was something to do with him being from the USA. Oh, geez. The attendant politely said that this is the Parthenon in Athens. If you want tickets for the Coliseum, you will have to go to Rome in Italy. This dude thought that the freaking Coliseum was what? Like a block away from the Parthenon? Dude, Athens is in Greece, bro. Rome is in Italy. Italy is a different country. What? Dang, someone, I mean, hey, think what you will about American education system. We do have history. Someone really didn't pay attention at all. Giving us a bad name out there, man. All right, next up, I got to do my best Texan accent. You ready for this? Okay. I once met a Texan who asked me, a Brit, I notice y'all listen to lots of American music, right? That probably sounded horrible, but hey, it's okay. Sure, I replied. There's lots of great American music. Yeah, he proclaims triumphantly. I mean, no offense, but we just have the best music. Like what you guys got that compares to Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, or the Stones. Sorry to break it to you, but they're all British. Long pause. You're kidding, right? He says in disbelief. That music is awesome. It must be American. And then Americans wonder why they have a reputation for arrogance. Oh, that is a good one. That is a good one because, yeah, legendary music, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, the Stones. Come on, I knew when I was like 9 years old they were from not America, not the United States. They're British. Hello. I mean, even in American media and like music history, it's quite known, like, the British invasion of music, right? Like how popular and how epic music from around the world that came in was, and especially British music, like British bands. Come on. Sorry, but that Texan's just a big old arrogant American. I mean, for real though, being this British guy, like actually seeing this go down in person, I mean, it must be really hard for the British guy to just not bust out laughing and be like, how is this happening right now? Alrighty, next one. I am married to a German and live in Germany. There are so many crazy things I've heard Americans say, but the best one was when the topic of 4th of July came up and a woman asked my wife, so, you guys don't have the 4th of July in Germany? My wife had the best response to it, and the look afterwards on that woman's face was priceless. My wife answered, no, we go from the 3rd of July straight to the 5th. Well done. Well done. That's about the best you could do with somebody like that, thinking that the 4th of July is everywhere. The 4th of July. If you are in the United States, you're a U.S. citizen, and you don't know that the 4th of July, Independence Day, is here it's an American holiday, and, that people all across the world don't think anything of the 4th of July. It's just any given Tuesday. Come on, do better than that. A guy from the U.S. was shocked to learn that we have TVs in Scotland. Oh, my God. Oh, this can't be real. And actually said, "You're welcome." Had to explain that the TV was invented by John Logie Bayard, a Scottish engineer. Forgive me, I probably pronounced that wrong. He didn't believe me, and it almost resulted in a fist fight because he was so incredibly insulted. He genuinely believed that the USA invented the entire modern technological world and graciously shared it with the rest of us. He was also one of those types who said, "I'm Scottish," when what he really meant was, "I have Scottish ancestry." Note to Americans, please don't do that. We hate it. Yeah, that one is funny. That is thrown around a lot here, usually just between Americans themselves, but I get it. I think that one's totally, technically wrong. You are correct about that. Not a huge deal over here, clearly, because people do it all the time, but I get it because it would be wrong to say that a lot, because then you start to believe it and you're not. So yeah, someone that's totally American, born in the U.S., grew up here, lives here, works here, whatever, and says they're Scottish, it's generally believed that, yes, that means you have Scottish ancestry, far down the line. But yeah, there has to be a line drawn where people start to believe that. Don't think you're actually Scottish because you're American. Someone from Scotland and that may be over here on vacation or something and you're talking to them, they're going to get offended. And I get it because they're actually Scottish. And then finally, yeah, to think that we invented everything and shared it with the rest of us, that is extreme arrogance. No matter where you're from, to think oh, we invented everything and we were so nice to let you use it. Oof, that hurts. That's so wrong. Oh, this is a good one. I was talking to a girl online one night before the last U.S. election, and she asked who I was voting for. I replied, "You know I'm in Australia, don't you?" She said, "What? You guys don't get to vote for the world leader?" I was speechless. Oh, man, I remember talking to this girl who was studying abroad in the Netherlands, my country. She was a nice girl, but she was a textbook example of how the American education system failed her in multiple ways. A prime example was history and how old things are. She was oh so proud of her old town and how it was founded somewhere in the 1700s and had a lot of old architecture, yada yada. I'm sure it's great. I love old architecture and culture. But I asked her if she visited some of ours in the city she's studying at. We've got lots of history too. Her response was, "It can't be that old." It was a big discussion because she refused to believe that there was a world before the USA, and she couldn't wrap her head around the fact that my town was founded in 792. Whoa. Not 1792, but 792. I had to show her the wiki. Good old Wikipedia coming in clutch, right? Yeah, that is certainly true, and I don't know if you could say guilty of this, but I guess I was guilty of this as a kid, and then, of course, coming into, teenage years, really learning about stuff and getting into world history and geography and stuff, I, of course, learned that, the world has a lot of history, and America, the United States or whatever, as we know it today, is very young. You're just not going to find stuff from, 792, from 1200, ancient times. You're not going to find that here. The United States is very new. For me, it would be mind-blowing traveling the world and seeing places that are literally twice as old, 3 times as old, 4 times as old as the U.S. as a whole. That would be super freaking cool, and I love that. Ooh, this is crazy. Canadian here. I was in line at Tim Hortons donut shop for coffee and donuts. Shout out to Tim Hortons. They're awesome. They're totally everywhere in Canada from what I know. I've been to one in Canada, in Winnipeg, and it was awesome. I've also been to one in the U.S. Yes, they do have some in the U.S., although they're super rare. As far as I know, they only have them in Michigan and Ohio. Anywho, a woman in front of me was paying for her order and was checking her purse for some money. She pulled a handgun, oh my God, out of her purse and placed it on the countertop. Oh my Lord. And resumed looking for money to pay while complaining that Canadian shops should accept American money. She was absolutely shocked when police officers came up to her and arrested her for having a firearm in public. How did she have a handgun in her purse in Canada if she's from America? How on earth did she get that through the border? That is what I'm mind blown by more than anything. Not to mention, yeah, you're in a different country. Not everyone is pew-pew, like loaded up with guns like the United States is. So don't whip your gun out in different countries. That sounds like a bad idea. But yeah, I really don't know how she even had that. How did she get that past the border? Like, what? Sounds like she's in big trouble. Oh, man, some people just blow my mind. This one is short and sweet. You ready? Well, in Rome, I've actually heard an elderly American couple complaining about why no one is fixing all these old structures while walking in a Roman Forum. Look at all these old structures in Rome just oozing with history. God, why don't they fix these up? Why don't they knock it down and put it in a mall? What is going on here? Psh, wake up. Oh my God. I'm sorry. That is just too funny, especially that they're elderly. Like, they should know better. What is up with that? Like, please, try to imagine going up to the Coliseum and being like, you know what? They need to patch this up. This is in rough shape. Alrighty, last one. I am not from the USA, but once this guy was here visiting my country, Brazil, because his girlfriend, a friend of mine, who at the time was an exchange student in the US, came to see her parents and brought him with her. The thing is, this guy was genuinely surprised that no one here cared for American football, like the NFL, college football, okay? Especially because we knew what it was, but just didn't care for it. And it blew his mind when he found out that what we knew as soccer was known as football, and not only by us, but by the rest of the world, and it was far more popular. Yeah, this one is funny because, American football, I guess, if you only have those American glasses on, right? Like your only perspective is right here, local in the U.S., then yeah, I mean, the NFL is much bigger than, or I guess even college football. College football and NFL combined is, way bigger than, soccer is here. That is true. Now, of course, there's many soccer fans as well. But yeah, the American football is just humongous here. It's crazy how big it is. But that's only here. People have to stretch their perspective out here. Like, whoa, wait a second. Just because the NFL is big here, as it should be, I mean, it's a local sport. It's in the United States. Doesn't mean that it's huge worldwide. And I do think it's funny when fellow Americans think that American football is like the biggest sport in the world. It's like, oof, it's big. I'll give you that. It is big here, but it is not the biggest sport in the world. I'm sorry. It's just not. Well, that's going to be it, unfortunately, for this one. This is total shit show of American arrogance and the like. These are always fun. I think they're good for a laugh. I really hope you did get a laugh out of this one. And you know what? If you want to encourage me, share some more stories you got down below in the comments. Throw a like on there, of course, if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to be part of this amazing community. I am American, and I'm proud to be one. And I can reassure you there are tons of amazing, nice, beautiful people here who are also a lot smarter and less arrogant than the yahoos we featured here. So... But hey, what do I know? My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, y'all, I'll catch you later.